What's up, guys? Day 7 final round here. We are going to be working with the same bag as yesterday. So if you guys are playing from day 6, we're going to have the similar clubs. This is going to be the Chateau Whistler finale here. So let's just go ahead, turn the grid on, get this out in play. It looks like we may be able to blast it. I definitely try to keep it a little bit righter side. Off this tee shot, usually what it does is it just allows me to get just a little bit extra range. Let's just see if this rolls out. Looks like you guys should be good to go on this first one. Shouldn't have to worry about it rolling out too much on you. Plenty of room. Of course, we're going to be messing with some jitter. And look at this. We're able to just get it to the Hellfire range. So what we're going to do here is get our alignment. Something to the effect of this, right at max club. Let's see what it looks like. It looks like that's probably about right at the max line. It feels like I'm close. So let's just go ahead and give this a whirl. Also keep in mind, these are the top prizes. So you may want to just use just a little bit extra, better ball, stuff like that. And we're just shy of 2 rings. So I'm just going to do one quick pull here. Just shy of 2 rings. And let's give it a go. See how it goes. Looks like it's coming in just a hair bit to the right. So either A, over pull, or B, wrong angle for that wind jitter. So, gonna make things a lot harder to hole out with the new wind jitter feature. So make sure that you are doing the necessary things to get it in there as close as possible. Use your practice if you have to. Go through iterations from your replays. What you want to do is focus on getting that ball as close and as good as possible. Give yourself that chance. Let's blast this one off. We're going to set up our, forget what wedge we have. Let's take a look. It's the Zeus. So that should have pretty good range. So it should be similar range to the Hive. So I'm going to play it similar to my Hive, as you can see. If you want to set up one for yourself, feel free to do so. But I just kind of casually play. So with that being said, we're just kind of eyeballing more or less. Ring span. I try not to dissect things too much. That's real close to 50% here. Very, very close. That's my 50% tick mark. So very close to the 50%. So we can essentially play this one. Which is one of those rare times where you might just be able to use this number. Now, keep in mind, the hardest thing about this shot is going to be this jitter. So, pull angle is going to start being a factor. The closer you can get the ball to the hole, the less rings that you go, the less rings that you go, the less error that can come as a result. So, getting the ball closer to the hole, less rings, less movement, higher wind reduction balls, that's going to make things the easiest for you to get the drops. And there you can see I'm able to actually get hole 2. Try to concentrate on that one. Get the wind number down as low as possible. It's going to give you that best chance to get that drop. Like I mentioned, the less rings that we go, the better. Because especially with this jitter feature, if you're pulling less rings and less distance, less overall movement than anything. So it's not like I could, switch clubs to something with low accuracy and, manipulate the jitter that way. It doesn't necessarily work that way. You need to just create as little movement as possible. So high wind reduction balls, wind pins. They did put the wind pins in the Starburst ball from this So if you guys picked up the Star Force ball, that's going to be a perfect ball. 84%. I'm using 81% ball. But if you have that Star Force, and especially if you wanted to pair it with pins, it's going to be your best way for as little movement as possible, giving you that good chance to get those drops. We are going to set up here. Hopefully we can get this somewhat feasible. I'm setting up. I keep getting a lot of 3.2s. I haven't really had to change that too much, but this is saying right around 955. The hardest thing is going to be knowing about your rollout. So you can see what I'm doing with that second hop being close to this. You guys can try to do simmer if you'd like. And we're going to try to go at least that 955. Why are we going to go beyond more? Because we're not using our backspin. So maybe we almost go a full 10 here. A little bit light of 10. Let's just see how it comes in. This looks like that's kind of where I was trying to land it. Maybe I didn't quite play the break right. But it looked like it landed right on line with the pin. So all of that looked good. Just didn't really necessarily, honestly, I thought it was actually breaking to the right a little bit, but it actually appears to one of two things, probably a little bit of both. Probably breaks just slightly to the left, but also that wind effect. Keep in mind it was a left-pointed wind, so those bounces are also going to slightly bounce to the left as well, especially up that slope. So keep that in mind. And hopefully, my shot there, if you guys are watching these guide, hopefully that'll help you get just a little bit tighter than what I did. Because mine wasn't necessarily the best placement for that ball to land. But with a practice attempt, for example, I would have been able to dial in. And then the second time, I would have had more confidence how it was going to roll up that slope. So keep all that in mind. We're going to try to get this Cyclone again. Ooh, looks like we almost got to Zeus range. What I do like about the potential for this Zeus is it does have very good ball guide. It's not great, but it's good. It's not like it's not like our whatchamacall Hive 8, but it's got a pretty nice guide. So with that being said, maybe we just try to blast this, do the 2.8. This is saying 937 at max. Keep in mind, this is that implies backspin as well. It's the same principle. Since we're doing almost a full topspin, you're probably going to want to even go beyond 10 rings in situations like that. So I'm going to go just a hair more than 10, maybe 10.2, 10.3. Let's just see what that looks like. Because you got to keep in mind, we're doing pretty much full topspin here. It's going to cause some deflection. Looks like we had it pretty good, just not enough topspin. But that was heading towards the hole at about 10.2, 10.3 rings. Maybe a little bit better ball guide than I actually realized. Oh, you can actually see I jumped that putt. Be careful on your putts. Don't do what I just did. I didn't see any of that in my putt, but make sure you're hitting the right power. As you can see, we're just going to have a tap-in par there. Kind of like a stupid stroke to throw away. But this is what, doing practice rounds or, using your practice pins, getting in there closer. It'll keep you from having to do those snafus, potential mistakes like you just saw that I did. We're going to put this right on the min line. Is this enough backspin? That's the question. It's very close. May not quite be. So, maybe in this situation, just to make this a little bit easier for ourselves, we grab one of these, give ourselves a little extra boost. So extra 10 or so bars. One bar. This is saying Min Club 162. I probably could have put in the line here. Figured it would up it a little bit. 175, give or take. And again, pull angle going to be vital. So hopefully you guys can get in there and get a very good pull angle. Because pull angle is going to be crucial in these Golf Grand Prix. We're going to go right around Yeah, maybe that's just a hair more. Just a hair. But pull angle is going to be a little bit difficult. Oh, wow. So one of two things there. I know I did overpull slightly perhaps, but also the wind jitter probably coming into effect there. Not nearly the right pull angle. So very, very different from the angle that I went to pull. So do keep that in mind. Try to get those shots to be as precise as possible. Use those practice pins up. They are worth trying to get aggressive, especially if you have a good round going. You'll see that your competition is going to be much stiffer in these brackets now, ever since that they put this wind jitter into this format. So the wind jitter is going to make it to where you just need to focus more on getting the ball in there tight instead of hold out this, hold out that. It's going to be less about holding out all these shots, and it's going to be more about trying to get it in there as tight as possible. And hopefully you guys are able to figure out the key to that and have some success. Here you can see a relatively straight wind. We are maybe mid-ish club here, somewhere in that. Maybe mid-ish club. I could, if you guys want, I could try to go about counting my span here. It's 10, it's 20, it's 30, 40, 50, 60. Maybe I did this before. Yeah, because I remember it going beyond. I think I'm capped at like 70 on the span, but that's like 90. It looks like it's around 90. But I think I might be capped at like 70. Yeah, so I have it at the max right now. And what we can do is we can just pull down. It's 10, 20, 30, 40. So 40 out of 90 is 45 out of 90 is half club. So this is pretty much right at the 50% mark right here, which is close to where we're going to hit. So in this situation, 50% club is going to be good. So we'll just, shoot for 50, 51%, somewhere in there. And it's also saying 8 or 7, 8. 7, 8, 7, 9. Very tough on these wind pulls. 7, 8, 7, 9 rings. We'll do this in one fluid motion. Hopefully your pull angle is strong. If you have a good pull angle, you'll see, and hopefully the ball stays more online. This looks like it's coming in just a tad right. So maybe just a tad off on that pull angle. In fact, you can see that it still rolls out beyond what I was shooting for there. So whatever you see that ball guide, you gotta, even into that headwind, you're still gonna have to keep it just a little bit on the short side. So make sure that you're keeping that ball guide a little bit shorter than what I did. It'll give you a little bit better chance of success than what I did. So hopefully you guys can improve on that. I'm just going to keep on grinding through here. So let's see, this is max club. We're about 5 rings from max here on this Hellfire. Just a bit of right spin, try to straighten up that ball guide. That's what, 4 rings from max? Somewhere in that effect. So 4 rings for max. It's an interesting pull angle. Do 4 for max. Should we switch the club? Should stay at 4, it does. So 165. So 165 pull angle is going to be vital. Keep that in mind on all these approaches. So let's see what this does. 165. Hopefully this is a little bit better than my last Hellfire shot. Looks just a little bit either over pull or angle just being a tad bit off. So very tough to get that angle to do what you want. So do keep that in mind and try your best to figure out a way to get as precise as possible on these shots. Here you can see that's the pin's about 5 for max. This is about 6 for max. So let's try this one. I'll try to be a little bit more precise on this one. See if we can do that. 6 for max. Just a hair less. 161 maybe. Remember, pull angle. Going to be vital on these. Hopefully you guys are able to get that pull angle down. Closer you are with your pull angle, closer you're going to be to the hole. Getting that tiebreaker up. And you can see, oh, that looked really good. It was going to at least go over the left edge of the cup if I would have just kept that ball guide just a little bit tighter. So pretty spot on with that one. Just a little bit off. You know, we would have at least ran over the left edge. If not curled that in, if we just set up that ball guide just a little bit better on the initial setup. So make sure that you guys are doing that if you can. That are giving yourself the best chance. And make sure I was a little early there. Let's hope that it doesn't register that way. Oh, it did. And you can see here's a penalize. So, and this is unforced error that I made here. And you can see as a result, it's going to make me pull out yellow jacket. So I can do one of two things. I can either just pitch out so you guys can still see the guide, or I can show you how to scramble on this one. Let's just pitch out to where the drive should have been. So that way you guys can still use this guide. Because I'm actually interested in seeing what this hole looks like from down here. I'd imagine we may need to go with some sort of pin. Yeah, so this is a good time for you guys to take a look at this and just see that this ball guide is going to have a lot of trouble to get this to land short enough. So you probably want to put your backspin pins on before coming to this hole. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to stop this ball, or if I can, it's going to be very, very difficult. And of course, I can't equip it now. So we're finding out the hard way, and this is again 165, give or take. Just go a nice small adjustment. Maybe just a slight short hit or something too. Try to cheat it as much as we can. But as you can see, still rolling through. Make sure you don't put yourself too in between clubs there. Maybe bring a backspin pin. That's going to be the secret to this one. So hopefully that is useful for you guys. I was thinking about splitting these up into 2 videos, but I think I'm just going to kind of keep it on path. So let's keep going. If ring span is 90, that's 10, that's 20, that's 30, here's 40, again 45 right here, that's half club. So very close to that half club number. Maybe this is a good one to try to hole out. And what is one of your best ways to hole out? Potentially these backspin pins. Giving herself a little bit extra boost. Maybe just a hair of right spin that I have applied. And again, this is probably very close to the mid-ish number. If I can just take my mid number, just try that. It's going to really come down to pull angles, so hopefully you guys can get a nice pull angle here. Lucky wind. And we're going to just go pretty close to the 7-2 number. Maybe just a hair light. I know the downhill nature of this sometimes makes, if you go true value, sometimes it a little overplays. Yep. So that looked pretty good, just a little bit off on my wind angle perhaps, because it definitely looked like the right amount of rings. Otherwise that would have came up short after I adjusted it, and it didn't. You can see it still got behind the hole, so it was pull angle more than anything. You need that pull angle to be a little bit more outside. It's tough to figure out that jitter. But as you can see, with the extra backspin, you can get that to backspin into the hole potentially. So that's going to be a good opportunity for you. Similarly with this one, this is a good opportunity for you to pull out. You know, we can do a couple different things. If we want to go two pins, even better. But definitely at least one pin. You can see here in this situation, I'm pulling out 2 just to give me that little bit of extra boost. We're just going to blast this as far as possible. Why would we blast it as far as possible? It's just going to give us that little bit of edge. Oh, you know what? I think I did the ball wind pin on accident. I meant to do the ball power pin, but nevertheless, I think this is still a good way to go about it. You can see I get this wind down to a 1.6, and you know, that should just give us enough confidence here to, you know, I'm thinking maybe, you know, just kind of holding the left edge of the cup, and we should be in there close enough. Hopefully the left edge of the cup is plenty for this short little pitch, for it to just roll straight into the hole just like that. So that is the advantage of giving it just a little bit of extra distance. You guys will see, and you won't have to worry so much about the jitter. So pins there for the win. Without the pins, you put yourself in that risky range, and then you have to play the wind jitter. So that's going to be your best bet to be able to navigate through that hole, will be to use a pin. So pin for the win. Real tough little shot here. You probably want to blast it, get this just a little bit farther for this Zeus. You can get this Zeus up on the putting surface. Going to make for an easier hole. We're going to have to play this a little bit different. Doesn't look like we'll be able to do that. So we're going to have to land right on the front. Use kind of a min number. And as you can see, not going to be the easiest for getting this in there close. Let's try something like this with the min number, 32, saying 7 rings or so. Just a hair light. Just need to hit that putting surface. That's what I'm trying to do. Just barely creep onto the putting surface. And side spin at the hole, just a little bit outside. Gave it a decent run. Not going to be the easiest shot, as you guys can see. So maybe using a pin there to keep yourself at Zeus distance. As you can see, we've been rather deadly on the attempts that we've got to try the Zeus shot. We've been able to be very aggressive with it. It's the only club we've made, and our misses with it so far have still been deadly. So any situation that you might be able to give yourself an advantage, take advantage. And this is another instance of that. And that's kind of the reason that I show you guys these shots, because I want you guys to be thinking about it. So here, and this time I'm going to do it right, and we'll do ball power. So this is 2 balls. This is not only a ball power pin, but it's a club power pin on the driver wood. It's going to allow me to have extra top spin. Also carry the ball farther than it would otherwise. And again, the reason to do this is to get this Zeus. We can get very, very aggressive with a 317-yard drive. So let's see what percentage this is with relation. Keep in mind it's also a slightly uphill. What is that, 20-some percent? 26, 27%. A little bit uphill usually results in me overplaying just slightly. Sorry guys. So if I measured it to 26, 27, usually I'll go maybe more 28, 29 in situations like this. Same 0.6 rings, very, very small. I'm just going to slide us over just outside the hole. And let's just give that a whirl, see what that looks like. And I did that just pointed to the right so you guys can actually physically see it. And you can see there it is. Again, we roll it in with ease. So another eagle opportunity. These pins, as you can see, take advantage of them on the holes that you can. As you can see, that's now my 3rd drop that I've had just by bringing Zeus. And this is another, this is another opportunity. So, these pins are your best friends at times, even with these clubs that aren't the greatest. And that's what you're seeing that I'm just able to do. And we're going to try it again. We're just going to keep grinding this Zeus. I've missed a Zeus shot that I felt I could have had too. So giving yourself these opportunities with Zeus, that's going to be the secret to some of your success here. So let's try to give this one a run as well. Thinking something to the effect of this. I think it might roll out just a little extra. And again, similar type thing, a little bit uphill. We're going to play this, I think it's in the shadow somewhere. What is that, 25%? Or is it on top of the shadow? It's on top of the shadow. So on top of the shadow is saying 27%. We might play it a little bit closer to 30 in this situation. Usually on uphill shots, I play just a tad more. That same 0.7 rings. So let's just go ahead and we'll be a little bit more precise with this one-ish. It's kind of actually tough to be precise on 0.7. Such a small adjustment. So I'm going to use the edge of this bullseye here. We'll just go something like that. It looks like this is a good sign. So that ring pull is still in the hole. So this is a very good angle to get yet another drop, because even with my ring adjustment, the guide stays in the hole, which is a perfect wing angle for you guys to get that drop. And surely enough, you can see another big drop that we're able to get. So a lot of really good opportunities here. And again, this might be an opportunity for you to get it in Zeus range. So why not take advantage of that? So I'm just going to use only a driver wood. And the point of the driver wood only is because I know I'm not going to get into that kill zone that I've been getting into. What I want to do is just make sure that I can force it into Zeus distance, get that Zeus in my hand, make sure that I can take, as you can see, I've had a lot of problems with Cyclone. So forcing your hand a little bit is a nice way to go about playing this. I'm going to try to land this right on the front of the green. Keep that ball guide just a little bit short. As you guys can see from the last hole, it rolls out. So let's just see where we are. That's what, almost 70%, 67. This shouldn't have an uphill nature to it. If anything, it's downhill, which means you have to do kind of the reverse. Instead of overplay, you're going to underplay. And like I mentioned, 67-ish. But we are using top spin. Keep in mind, top spin this time, guys. So with the top spin, you may need to overplay. Maybe the overplay and underplay almost cancel themselves out, because since you're downhill, overplay, I'm going to maybe just slightly go more, just by a tad, and let's just see how that works out. And you can kind of use this to your benefit. I probably went 6.4, 6.5 rings. Oh man, is that close. And it's sure enough, yet another drop. So just getting yourself in those situations to have Zeus in your hands. You can see we're just lighting it up on this back nine with hole outs. So, and I would imagine you guys could also do very similarly. And as you can see here, very, very difficult in between club situation. And again, that's why these backspin pins are being dropped with the ball packages. Make it easier for you to stay within range. So we're going to use the min Raptor value, whatever that is. Hopefully you guys can use that to your advantage. Min is saying 292, and I'm just going to try using that min value because you guys can use that to your benefit. So if I go 292, granted, it's going to be tough figuring out, your wind jitter angle, making sure that you're pulling the right angle. But I'm just going to go this min value so you guys can use that to your benefit. And then potentially make a slight, it actually looks perfect. It just came in too hot. So that would have been, right on the right-hand side of the cup. It would have probably broke right into the cup. It would have been a perfect shot had I just kept that ball guide shorter. So the initial setup there, a little bit difficult. You got to try to set up and get to that min line. But you can see another good opportunity on that par 3 using the min value. So hopefully you guys keep that in mind. And again, like I mentioned, we've had trouble with both Raptor and Cyclone. And this pin is probably no exception. You probably might want to use yet another backspin pin for this one. If you're looking to take advantage of this hole and get it as close as possible, potentially get the drop. Both of these clubs we've had trouble on, and I'd imagine this is going to be kind of a similar scenario. It's going to be just difficult to stop this ball at the right distance. So we're going to set up very close to max. We'll go 2.7. It's saying 8 rings for a max adjustment in this situation. So let's just go a little bit, we'll pretty much go true max. So 8 to 8.1 with my ring pull. Looks pretty good. Oh, so just came in too hot. We did catch some pin, so we know that adjustment there. Pretty good. Just got to shorten that ball guide even more than I did. So make sure you're shortening that ball guide, getting it in the right spot. As you can see, a good opportunity yet again for another drop. This whole backside is very easy to take advantage of and get some good stuff. So hopefully you guys are able to get some drops there. I'm just going to put no spin We'll do no spin, maybe just a tad bit of curl right at the max line. And this will give you guys a gauge for how you can play your own shot based on how much mine rolls out. In the 280s there. Here, we're going to use maybe 3 bars, 4 bars of right, give or take. Max says almost 2 rings. I'm going to go beyond this. I usually go at least 10, 12% more, which is saying almost 2.2 rings. And the reason for the overplay is because of the top spin model. So top spin is different than backspin. All of the ring values are set up for full backspin. You'll see that you'll need to go these overplays, and that looks really, really good. So just over the hole. Good opportunity for you guys to finish up there strong. Hopefully you guys are able to take advantage of this one and be able to dial that in. Use your practice pins if you need to. Use these guides as your kind of initial just setting up a line. You can see I kind of rushed through things. But all in all, good opportunities there. And, still going to be able to get, and, potentially into the 30 unders, even with the jitters. So it is a good course to take advantage of. Hopefully you guys are able to do that. Best of luck out there with your rounds. Let me know how it goes, and see you guys on the next time. See you guys. Take care.